Hey everybody, it's Jason. I'm actually back in the 3D printing corner again today. Sorry about the lack of content the last few days. I've actually been at a conference. If you actually look up in the feed, you'll see some recap of the conference. It's a really fun one. It's held in Wisconsin Dells, and it's a very family-friendly conference. So if you're interested in tech field, particularly development, but there was actually even a few 3D printing sessions. Definitely check it out. It's called That. I will link that down below. It's been a great conference. My wife and I have gone for the last 5 years, and they're on year number 6 right now. They just finished and already scheduled out for next August. So definitely, if you're into that, check it out. But that's not why we're here. We are here for our next budget or bust filament. Now, this one was recommended to me to be tested by one of my subscribers, and at $12.99 a kilo, I had to check it out. So I'm not even sure how to say it. I believe it's Pxmalion, but I'm not 100% sure. Comes in a nice black box with some colors. The one I have is their neon green color. Comes on a relatively nice spool. It's actually the same spool that Century Filament comes on. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bust, and I'm going to tell you why. So first off, printing with it was a nightmare. It does not print at your normal PLA settings. It prints really, really cold. I ended up having to print this, so my normal PLA settings are 210 degrees with a 60-degree bed. I do have an all-metal hot end, which does increase your temperatures a little bit. But as you guys all know, most PLA will print about 195. I printed this at 185, which with my hot end means if you don't have an all-metal hot end, you'd probably print this at like 180. And I had to print it on a 45-degree bed to even get it to somewhat stick. And then it still didn't really want to stick, and I ended up putting it on a layer of glue stick to even just try and get it to stick at all. When it did finally stick, it printed pretty bad. You can see there's a lot of blobbing. It's still really sticky stuff. It was not a fun thing to print. The actual texture of the plastic, it just feels very funny. It doesn't feel like PLA should feel. And those of you that have done a lot of printing with PLA will know what I mean by that. It feels flimsier. It doesn't have that normal kind of snappiness that you'll eventually get to break PLA. It doesn't print well. The top layer is it's very blobby. It almost looks like it's still too hot, which is, I mean, at 185 degrees that should not be the case. The top layer prints very rough. The layer lines are incredibly visible. It doesn't stick to itself well, so the layer lines, and you're probably not going to be able to see this, but the layer lines in the middle there, yeah, you can't quite see it. Incredibly visible. The points are all a little malformed. A lot of blobbing in the through holes for the lettering. The only thing I would say that was good about it was, check out that first layer. It printed smooth as can be once I got that bed temp set right and added a little bit of glue to it. But that said, even at $12.99 a kilo, go out, spend the $2 more, get yourself a thing of inland PLA, go out, spend a few dollars more, get yourself some Century PLA. It's something, because this stuff, I mean, it's usable, but my God, it was a nightmare to dial in. So that's going to be it for the Pxmalion or Pxmalion or Pxmalion or however you want to say it. This box. That's going to be it for that. Definitely a bust. it's not worth the $12.99 that you can get it for on Amazon. That was for the green. The green was actually the cheapest one. The other colors are actually all even more, up to $17.99, which still qualifies in our under $20. But I can't imagine that it's going to be, obviously there is some variation on color. I can't imagine it's going to be all that much better. If their base plastic has to be that cold to print, it makes it very hard to dial in. So this one, bust. Don't bother. If you're liking the content, definitely click that subscribe button down below, ring that bell, and you know, just come back and visit. We've got still glow-in-the-dark PLA and Viro ABS. We've got a very cheap TPU to test, zero PLA, and inland inland PETG. Sorry, it's getting kind of late here. Inland PETG to test. We've also got the next series on how usable are the protopasta filaments for their intended purposes. The next ones we're going to be doing are the stainless steel, the conductive, and the iron. And that'll finish out that little series. So yeah, lots of content still to come. We've got a special coming on about how I'm building an enclosure for my printer. So I'll go over that with you guys. So yeah, lots of content to come. So definitely click that subscribe button. Come back. Check in often. Definitely check out my conference slideshows. I think you'll, if you're at all interested in tech, it's a great conference to go to. So check that out. And you know, come back. Hit me up often. If you got comments, leave them down below. Definitely, I'll be getting back to you on those. All right, everybody. This is Jason. This is the 3D Printing Corner. And y'all have a good night.